offered a lot of money to sell out, all different types of gifts. Through the course of my life, the most money I was offered one time was $5 million.
Wow.
And I walked away from it. They wanted me to walk away from this city, not New York per se, but this area where I was living. They wanted me to take a walk.
Right.
That's amazing.
And they said, you could live good.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't.
Man, I would have taken the $5. No, I'm just playing.
You ain't.
Some people would take very much less than that.
Can you say it's 7 o'clock in my yacht and in my drop top cruising the ocean?
$5 million right about now.
Yeah.
That would
Money can be very influential.
Offers.
Wow. Now, is there something in particular you want to let the people know now about your campaign, about what you're doing, about your running? Anything in particular that they really need to know about you at this point? Of where you are right now with getting the signatures and all?
Well, I'm like about halfway there. I still got a little time, and I'm speeding up. I'm stepping up the game, so I will be able to. I'm going to get on the ballot. I really believe I will.
Okay.
But I just want the people to also know that even though I'm out here campaigning, I'm still doing things in the community.
Right.
I mean, there's all this stuff going on with mayoral control.
Okay.
So I'm still very active in that struggle. So you have to still be out there, fighting.
Okay.
And I'm not just out here campaigning and politicking. I'm fighting on all the main issues and getting results. I mean, one of the things I'm very proud of that I did was that I got the DHCR to change its policy on preferential rents. Now, preferential rents, what a preferential rent is, it's a lower rent. A landlord in a rent-stabilized apartment could, if you wanted to, charge you a lesser rent than what he's entitled to charge you. Now, there was some confusion about this law that was passed in 2003, and it had everybody thinking, including the DHCR, that the landlord could now get out of this agreement that he had with the tenant.
Okay.
I didn't see it that way. And a lot of people got sort of like, self-evicted, because when they went to the DHCR, and the DHCR told these tenants that the landlord could do this, they didn't even think about going to court.
Okay.
So we lost a lot of, people of color in the rent stabilized housing, market.
Okay.
And so eventually I got the DHCR, through different persuasion, I got them to realize that they were practicing the law incorrectly.
Okay.
And so they changed the policy July of 2008.
Okay.
Wow.
That's great.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think of this whole thing with Michael Bloomberg going for another term?
Gotta go.
Put you on
gotta go.
He's got to go, or
Mike Bloomberg's got to go. we can't have a billionaire mayor in this city. It's his reach goes too far. His money is too persuasive. His money is dictating how things are running. It's like what Bloomberg wants. I mean,
so is it like what Bloomberg wants, Bloomberg gets?
Bloomberg gets, yes.
Okay.
And it's ridiculous. And it's just see, I know firsthand a lot of things. I know different things that go on because I've been on several committees, on Community Board 10, dealing in all types of issues, education and libraries, land use, housing, and I see what goes on. And, it's become like a three-ring circus of hustlers. Like everyone is now...
Well, that's what's happening in Albany now.
Yeah, everybody is...
it's the blind leading the blind in Albany.
But they're hustling, too. And they figure that if Bloomberg is making his $4 billion, we should be able to get our little cut.
Right.
And Bloomberg is...
But I've always been of the mindset, with where we are now in New York. New York is suffering a lot right now.
Yes.
New York, the state, period. I'm of the mindset and looking at who the candidates are, what the future is, that there just doesn't seem to be a bright future coming. A few years ago when Michael was running and I believe Mark Green was also running, I just saw a cast of guys from a movie auditioning for a major role. I just didn't see anybody with the heart, not so much the experience because they've all been there, but with the heart, or saying what you're saying. I fight for my people. Right. It doesn't matter. I'm here for the people. I don't see nobody out there like that. I don't really see nobody out there saying, I've always thought of Bloomberg as, well, I'm a millionaire, so I don't need the money. I can just take the job and do what I need to do.
Right.
And so I don't know him personally in that way. I thought a billionaire could just be somebody who, I don't need any money. I can do the job, and nobody will think I'm taking money because I have money.
Right.
But I don't see candidates out there. Do you see a mayoral candidate now that you think you can say, this is a guy we can put a lot of trust in and move towards our future?
Tony Avella.
Okay.
I know Tony. I've known him for 5 years, and I've had to go before him, many times, testifying on different issues. Tony chairs the zoning and franchises subcommittee of the land use committee of the city council. So I've had many opportunities to go before him, but Tony has always sided with the people. Whether it was the Sonny Carson street co-naming issue, he supported that community. He supported the community against the 125th Street rezoning. He supported the community against the Columbia expansion plan. He's been consistent. When the city council voted to give themselves a raise, an increase, Tony voted against it, and to this day, everyone else is making more money than Tony.
Wow.
That's integrity.
Right.
He voted against the term limit extension.
Okay.
And he's sticking by it. So he's continuing with his plan to run for mayor. Many other people had other plans too, to do other things.
Right.
But once that term limit got extended, they now all fell back into the, running for re-election of city council. But Tony said, no, I'm against it, and I got to show the people that I'm against it. And so I'm not going to try to run for re-election. So he continued, even though it's kind of like he's the underdog.
Okay.
He still stuck to his guns and said, I'm going to run for mayor. That's what I was planning to do, in the beginning, and I'm going to continue doing that. Now, Bill Thompson, I like Bill too. Anybody is better than Bloomberg. But if Thompson wins the primary, Tony and everybody else is going to get behind Thompson. If Tony wins the primary, Thompson and everybody else should get behind Tony.
Right.
So it's not really a bad thing that the two of them are running against each other. They're not really splitting, the harmony that we can have.
Okay.
I think everybody just needs to say, Bloomberg has to go. And I think Bloomberg knows he's running a little scared, I think. He, it's not, people aren't stupid. Lincoln said you could fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time.
That's
Absolutely.
Great. So, Julius, we don't want to let you go, but I had one last question.
Yes.
Would you be interested in doing an informal debate on one of our shows here on the station with one of the other candidates?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So prepare yourselves, people, because I'm going to try to see if I can get that to happen.
But Julius, you got to have a website. You got to have anywhere anybody can get information about you or anything like that.
Are you? You're saying that once I get on the ballot?
Yes, definitely.
Right. So that's fair. Once I get on the ballot, I'll have a website.
Okay.
You could get in touch with me now. You could email me at people for Julius Tajadeen at yahoo.com.
Okay.
And Serena Watson is my treasurer.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And let's spell that out just to make sure people know how it is. It's the
people
name?
for JULIUS TAJIDDIN.
I almost thought Julius was looking at his own last name.
No.
Hold on. How do I spell my name?
I wanted to see if I had the people, but I have, yes, people for Julius Tajadeen at yahoo.com.
There you go. So, guys, this was Julius Tajadeen right here on CalienteHitzMix.
Wow.
First politician on our show.
Yes.
And it's definitely a great pleasure to have you
and
on.
a great politician at that.
Yeah, definitely.
We just didn't have any politician on the show, which makes a difference.
Exactly. Definitely. So, guys, we will be right back. Check out Julius Tajadeen on his page as soon as everything's done. And if you want to get on the petition, you know what to do. We will be back. This is CalienteHitzMix right here on ArismaRadio.com. It's Friday! We'll be right back.
Booyah!